Good morning, everybody. Hey, we're going to do something new, sort of shifting gears here. I realize that next week's going to be kind of review and fun. I wanted to teach you guys how to multiply integers. You guys have been doing a good job adding and subtracting integers, and I wanted to teach you how to multiply integers, partly because I want to assign as a homework again for you to play the slam game. So we need to learn a new way of playing it, and we're doing that with multiplying integers. Now, remember what integers are. They are whole numbers plus negative numbers and positive numbers. So not just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to infinity, but also -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on, right? So that's what integers are. Don't freak out. When you see them, know that they aren't that hard, okay? When you add them, always think of money. When you subtract them, remember all the students I've had in the past tell me to tell you to, instead of subtracting, add the opposite, okay? Now, remember what multiplying is. It is repeating adding, right? 3 times 4 is the same as 4 plus 4 plus 4, 3 times. Okay, so if it was 3 times -4, it would be -4 plus -4 plus -4 3 times, which is -12. Now, one of the ways, there's a lot of different ways we have to teach you how to remember these things. But one of my favorite ways is karma, because I just like karma. Okay, karma basically means if you do something nice to someone, something nice should happen to you. And if you do something mean to someone, something nice should not happen to you, right? So I kind of thinking of it that way. Okay. So if you imagine, right, and we're going to say a smiley face is positive. Imagine the nicest kid at school does something nice to you, and then you go to the NPR for an assembly and they raffle off a brand new iPhone. And although you wish you could have won that iPhone, that nice kid who did something nice to you ends up winning. Well, that's a good thing, right? So a good thing happening to a good person is good, right? Now, imagine that really nice kid always lends you a pencil, always willing to help you, right? He is walking and his hands are full and he slips and he falls and he gets his side all muddy. Okay. Now, that is a nice kid and a bad thing happening to him. Okay. Do we like that? No. That is a bad thing. Okay. So, a great kid, something bad happening to him, we don't like it. That's negative. Okay. Now, you guys might know a kid who's not so nice most of the time, right? And maybe, when you're walking in front of him, he tries to trip you sometimes or gives you a flat tire. You guys know what flat tires are? When they step on the back of your shoe and it sort of folds up. You got to fix it. Okay. Now, imagine going to the NPR for a assembly, and they have a raffle and give away a brand new iPhone. And that mean kid who's mean to everybody has this great thing happening to him. He wins the raffle and gets a brand new iPhone. Now, that is going to make you sad. We don't like that when that happens, right? All right. How about that mean kid? You see him walking and you see that really nice kid that you like, that's always nice to you. And you see him walking behind that nice kid. And he looks like he's going to trip that kid. And he swings his foot to trip that kid and loses his balance and falls down and gets muddy himself. Now, as much as we don't like to celebrate bad things, that's going to probably make you smile, right? So that is a bad person and a bad thing happening to him. We like, yeah, that's the way it should be, huh? Where if there was a bad person and he wins the raffle, we don't like that. And if it's a nice person and something bad happens to him, we really don't like that nice person to have sad things happen, right? And that really nice person wins the raffle, yeah, we're okay with that. As much as we would have liked to have won, but we're okay with that, okay? So this is what we call karma math. And if you imagine the smiley faces as positive, if you had a positive number and you multiplied it by a positive number, you've been doing this in second or third grade, you always get a positive answer. Now, what you haven't been doing is all the rest since second grade, right? But if you have a positive number and you multiply it by a negative number, your answer is going to be negative. If you had a negative number and you multiplied it by a positive number, your answer will also be negative. And if you had a negative number times a negative number, that will be a positive answer. Okay? So let's look at this and see how it works. What if I had 8 times 2? Well, that's a positive times a positive, right? That's a good thing having a good person. We think that is a positive 16, positive 16. What if I had 8 times negative 2? Now, that is a positive thing happening to a bad person. We don't like that. That's negative. What if I had negative 8 times 2? Okay, that is a negative person and something good happening to him. We don't like that. We don't like when that bad kid wins the lottery, right? Or the raffle. And a bad person, a bad thing happening, right? He's trying to be real mean and he falls down himself. We like that. Okay. So again, a positive times a positive is a positive. And a negative times a negative is a positive. But a positive times a negative is a negative, and a negative times a positive is negative. Another way people look at this, if both factors that you're going to multiply to get your product are the same, either both positive or both negative, your answer will be positive. If they're different, then you're going to have a negative answer. Okay? Now, how can we apply this to our slam game? Well, do you remember how the slam game worked? Right? You divide the cards and you get half the cards and the person you're playing with gets half the cards. And it's kind of like war. You're going to get ready. You got them all in a stack. They can't see them. You can't see their cards. You're getting ready to turn them over. And really, you shouldn't peek at your cards either before you do it, right? That'd kind of be cheating. So neither one can see either of the cards. And you're getting ready to turn them over. And remember, the ace is a 1, right? All the numbers are the same. And if you want to include the face cards, include the face cards. I don't mind that. Our system of numbers is based on 10, right? It's a decimal system. So we have lots of 10s. I don't mind if you have some extra 10s in there. So all the face cards will be 10s. And remember, the red ones are negative and the black ones are positive. And that's how they do it in business and accounting too. I don't know if you know that. If a company is in the black, that means they're making money. But if they're in the red, or sometimes they say they're bleeding red ink means that company is losing money, right? So it's kind of good that all these things will sort of seep in your brain in a good way. But then you're going to have fun playing a game, okay? So let me get my cards out. Whoa, did you guys see that? All of a sudden cards appeared. That was like magic. All right, so now I got some cards. And remember, you just deal them out. You know, one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me, right? And until you get half of them with you and half of them with your opponent you're going to play against. And then you just turn them over like you're playing war, right? So you and the person you are playing against are going to turn them over at the same time. And whoever gets the answer to those two numbers multiplied first will say slam and slam their hand down. Okay, let me zone out a little bit so you can see a little bit better. And here we go. Are you ready? Slam. That is a -6 times a +10. And what is that? -60. Because 6 times 10 is 60. But if one of those is negative, remember, that's a bad thing happening to a good person. We don't like that. All right? You want to do it again? See how fast you can get this. Slam. What's the answer? Think about it. A -5 times a +5, -25. -25. And again, some people remember it because if both are the same, both are negative, you get a positive answer. If both are the same, you get a positive answer. But if they're different, right, a positive times a negative or a negative times a positive, the answer is negative. Okay, ready? Slam. Negative, oh, sorry, 60. See, I would have lost that. I said negative first, right? Those are both negative numbers, but a negative times a negative is a positive. Remember? That's when that bully tries to trip your friend and falls down the mud himself, and you're laughing, right? All right. Now, if you don't like the face cards, then you just go through and you take them all out, right? Right? If those confuse you and you don't play a lot of blackjack, right? Or you need those to count as 10, then you just take them out. Now you take them all out first, and then you deal half to you, half to the person you're playing against, right? But I encourage you to learn how the face cards are always going to be 10 and to learn how that works, because actually having more 10s in our game is probably a good thing, because again, our system of numbers is a decimal system. What does DEC stand for? Well, how many years in a decade, right? Yeah, how many sides on a decagon? 10, right? And our system's built on 10. So, ready to go again? We'll do a few more of these. Slam. 2 times 2 is 4, but one of those is negative, so my answer is -4. How about this one? Slam. -10, right? One of those is negative. I get a -10. 2 times 5 is 10. Ready? Slam. 36. That's a -4 times a -9 is 36. Okay, what we got here? Slam. That is -9. Now, how do you get points for playing? Well, there's two things that I would like for you to do. If you want the full credit, right, then you are going to take at least 10 of your problems, right? I got 1, I got 2, I got 3, I got 4, and you are going to make a score sheet and write down, what is this problem? -5 times 2 equals -10. What is this problem? -2 times 2 equals -4. What is this problem? -3 times 3 equals -9. And what is this problem? -4 times -9 equals 36, positive 36. So you want to do that with 10 sets, and you could do that before or after your game if you don't want to take the time to do it during your game. And then you are going to write, I played slam multiplying with Uncle Zemo for 15 minutes. And then have Uncle Zemo sign it if he's still willing to sign it after you beat him. Right? All right. So that's how you're going to get the points, but that's how you multiply integers, right? That's how you multiply integers. You could think karma. You could just think if both of them are the same, it's positive. If they're different, it's negative. You can think any way you want with those. But do it and practice. And a slam is a great way to get really good at it really fast. Okay. And you don't even realize how much you're learning because you're just playing a game. Okay. All right. That is your homework for this Wednesday. We will talk to you on Aloha Thursday.